Lavinaka, and a warm welcome to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. This is a live radio talkback show, and we normally have the delayed coverage shown on FBC TV every Tuesday nights and Wednesday mornings. Today, we've got a very interesting character who is with us, and he is doing his own thing right now. This is businessman Johny Heatley. He is, Vasunandua, Wainunumbua. Johny, thank you so much for coming by to our studio today, and a warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Well, Johny, I know that you are a very familiar face in Suva. I mean, because we were born and bred in Suva, but you might like to tell us a bit more about yourself.
Okay, Lisa, I was born in Stone Street. To all the old Suva gang, they call the place Punihivi, just behind the flea market on top of the hill.
Okay. That would have been quite many years ago. I mean, it'll be rude if I ask you your age, but yeah, okay, carry on.
So we lived around the city ever since. I moved from here to there.
Okay.
Moved to Turak and stayed on Rewa, Rewanga until I'm staying at my brother's place now at Makoi.
Okay, so you live with your brother right now in Makoi?
Yeah.
Okay, now your experience, I know, is a really, I should say, detailed experience of life. You've been through a lot, Johny. I mean, I know that you're also a former inmate for quite some time during your life. Is that right, Johny?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so how long were you in prison for?
Well, I got involved with the law at a very early age.
Okay, so that would be like how old, Johny?
About 12 years old or 13 years old at the time.
Okay, so you rebelled at a very young age, which is not unusual. I know there's a lot of people who do that. So yes, that is very young. So how do you think that you were influenced to get on the wrong side of the law at that time? What year would have that been, for example, when you were 12 or 13?
It would have been about 1970.
Oh, okay. I mean, look at it, 2016 now, and you're looking good. Okay, so tell us about how it happened.
So I was involved in some small petty crimes with some boys on the streets. We were young at the time, and I was taken to the reformative center.
Right. So at that time, it was 9 miles, right?
9 miles.
So like for juveniles, we call that juveniles.
Yeah.
So you actually started from that time, juvenile.
Juvenile.
Right. So at the 12, 13 years old, then you went there first. And then after that?
I never got time to get out because from there on, I spent here about 2 or 3 years there. They transferred me from there to the number of facilities for
Adults.
adults.
Okay, so you didn't even have time to get out of there? And I mean, in those days, they probably didn't have anything like now. They've got what do you call it? The yellow ribbon, eh?
No, it was
So you were actually in a time when it was really rough.
yeah, we were escaping from there, so the center sent me to, that was in 1973.
Right.
They sent me to Corvo prison to spend 9 months there.
Yes.
Because I would be turning 18 in 1975, so
Right.
to me to come and finish my term over there, but they wouldn't accept me back, because I had gone to an adult prison, so it would be, they couldn't take me back to be amongst the, so they released me from there.
I see. So it was from what did you call it for the juveniles? Reformative or?
National Reformative Center.
Oh, it was National Reformative Center at that time. Okay, so you were there and then you actually had to go to the adult prison. So, I mean, at that time, there was nothing that they taught you like now. Now they have, you can even get your certificate when you're in prison or something like that. They assist you a lot. But can you tell us about your experience at that time, how you felt? Like, I mean, you had that rebel spirit in you from being in the juvenile, and then it carried on, and it went on for quite some time, didn't it, Johny?
Yeah.
Okay, so from there, how much more time did you spend in prison?
Well, to tell you the truth, I spent nearly half of my life inside the
Oh.
prison. It carried on until for The last time that I smelled that place was in 1999.
Oh, 1999. So it's 2016 now. So 1999. So now you've had that time to just get on with your life. And it's very admirable to see you, Johny, that you survive even after that terrible part of your life. I would call it, like you said, half of your life. But how did you how did you feel when you managed to get freedom after all that time?
Well, it was in 1999 that I was still in prison at that time, but I just sat down and one night in my cell, and I prayed to God and asked him
Oh, okay.
if he could let me, the next century, for me to be outside and never not smell this place again.
Oh, and then, my goodness me, and God obviously answered your prayer. Because then from then,
Until now, I haven't been
you've managed to stay out. But what do you think made you have that rebellious spirit? Why didn't you ask God to get you out of there earlier?
No, because when I ask myself, what else is there for me to learn else in it? Well, I've seen it all, done it all,
Yes.
tasted it all, so what else was for me to learn over here?
Yeah.
One thing I got to do is just keep myself well away from the law and do what everybody's supposed to do, a normal life, you know?
Right. Just to earn your living in a normal way and just keep out of trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, you must have been through a lot, as I know that I can see scars and everything. You must have been through so much, spending half your life in prison. I mean, that's, even when I think about that, maybe you can just tell us about your experience when you were in prison for that long, how you felt. Why didn't you have that spirit to soften up? You just kept on rebelling right up until 1999. Do you think that maybe, you didn't feel that you could have that change of heart? It came in 1999, that change of heart where you said you prayed to God in the cell, because then finally you had acknowledged that you'd had enough after all that time, almost half your life in prison. So, I mean, when you look at people today, you see young people committing crime, I'm sure you can relate to, what they're going through. So, I mean, if there's anyone to give advice, it would be you to tell someone who is young, because normally people get that rebellious spirit at a young age. But we'll be back for more on Speak Your Mind. We'll continue with what we were talking about with Johny Heatley in a moment. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. Thank you a lot for your company. And we have a very special guest today, Johny Heatley, who is doing his own thing now after spending half of his life in prison. So, you make a perfect example of, discouraging the youth to go through what you did. And, even now I notice there's a lot of people that have all come into Suva from the islands. And, they come to the city, they think it's easy, as you've said. Now, what would you say about this, Johny?
Well, I just remember one time there was this guy, he asked me, hey, Johny, I would like to come and join your gang.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have to do to come and join your gang? It was a very difficult question for me to answer.
So when was this, when he asked you this question? This is a long time ago?
Yeah, quite a long time ago.
So that time you were still in your rebellious time? Okay, right. Carry on, yes?
So I didn't have the answers to that question. I couldn't tell him, come and join us like this. Otherwise he get into problem, then what am I going to say against it?
Yeah.
So I just told him, the Fijian letter M, I told him, tulungan naman me chikubiko. And then he asked me, namada basuchi. I won't go matata, manata, mavokona.
Okay, so can you explain that in English, what that means, please?
To be exact, eh?
To be exact, yeah?
To be sure.
To be sure. And the third one is in, how do you say it in Fijian? So it's matata,
Manata,
yeah?
Modokona, eh?
Okay. It's,
How do you say Modokona?
well, I'm not too sure. What is it? Like, look at it in a broad way? Okay, to look at it as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you advise this person who had come from what, from an island or something, or from a village.
Yeah.
So, like even when he came, he just wanted to join a gang to be against the law.
When he heard those words, he just said to me,
Mm.
so I'll just stick around this, I'll stick around the village, I won't rush for it.
Oh, well, that's something really good that you told him then. So those must be really effective words to tell someone who is thinking of, they at that time when you're young, you don't see life as, it's you're still young, you don't realize, and you
Like
just do
he
everything.
thought it was a Tom, Dick and Harry kind of thing that anybody can come here and do this, do that, you know.
Okay, all right.
But the city has its rules too, so you got to be careful when you come into the city, you know. You got to be cautious of what you do each day, you know.
I see. Okay, so when you mean cautious, so like don't get on the wrong side of the law.
Yeah, always there.
Yes, the law is there. Okay. So, okay, Johnny, like for hobbies, what are your hobbies? What do you like doing? Like maybe, I think I've seen you singing sometimes. You're quite good like your brother. I mean, your brother is Steve Heatley. He's a great singer. And they performed for Tom Maui's tribute that was on Saturday. He came in from New Zealand. Is that right, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like singing as well?
Yeah, I like singing, but nowadays I have a little bit of concentration on writing music.
Oh, okay. So you're trying to write music now?
I wrote a few. I had a deal with my brother for him to sing it for me.
Okay, that's nice. So you actually wrote the words of the song?
Yeah.
So how did you get your inspiration for the words of the song? It must be meaningful?
Oh yeah, some of them are translated from the English version into the Fijian version. Some of those songs I did it like that. Eh?
Okay. So that's obviously one of your hobbies as well. So you wrote the lyrics. What about the tune? Did you do the tune as well? Both?
Yeah.
So you see, you have a talent. There you go. So your brother happy about that? Is he going to?
He's working on it at the moment.
Oh, see, that's very nice. So it's not the end of the road for like someone like you. You've experienced so much in life. You prayed to God in the cell, 1999, and from there you've never looked back. And yeah. So do you think in all the policemen that you came across in your life, they must be very happy with you as well? Do you meet some of them?
Well, we meet
Yeah.
now and then.
Yeah.
Everybody, some are gone, some are still alive, you know.
True, eh? Oh dear, but I mean, you must have been in a really tough time. I mean, for now, what can you say about prison now compared to before?
Before I was the strongest one, was the one who survived, you know,
True,
during that time. Eh?
I know, I can imagine, eh? Okay, so like for now, they are much luckier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? So what would you tell someone if they were thinking of committing a crime? What would you like to tell them to make them not do it? Because even now, you look in the news, you see a lot of, youth. Mostly youths are always involved in criminal activities. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is there a reason why youths are always caught up in this? Do you think there's a reason? The youth seem to be quite, involved in very serious crimes like, robbery with violence and stuff like that. So would you give a reason why? Why?
Maybe it's the crowd they mix with or the wrong crowd they mix around with, you know.
Yes.
They have different ideas.
Right. So yeah, I think that's the right answer too. That's it. It's influence, eh? It's the influence. So it's better just to stay away from if you see someone doing a bad thing, just stay away from them. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So your hobbies are writing music now and composing songs. And do you think that you found peace in your life now? You think you found peace?
And getting close to it.
Getting close to it? I mean, the struggle goes on the way. I mean,
Yeah.
for every individual, not only you, eh?
That's right.
Yes, I mean, but you're surviving. And what about, have you noticed about, when you walk around the streets, what do you notice the difference in the time, like now and before? There, I mean, obviously population, a lot of homeless people.
Yeah. There's a lot of homeless people.
Yeah,
Actually, when we were small, raised up in the city was our playground, you know.
right.
Like from the flea market right to Albert Park, we could play cowboys on Sundays like that. You come and look for another until you find you don't bump into nobody because the street was empty.
I know, eh?
Now
Now,
you see the city is densely populated.
I know, absolutely densely populated for sure. I mean, that's a world thing. I mean, the population keeps growing. But we'll be back for more on Speak Your Mind. This is your only classic hits radio station, Gold FM. Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. And our guest in the studio, we've got Johny Heatley, who is talking about his experience. And, you've lived a long time, and I'm sure you've observed a lot that's been happening, especially in Suva. Like you said, in your time, you could, use this as your playground, play cowboys. There was hardly anyone in Suva. And compared to now, it's densely populated because of the reason maybe people coming from everywhere, different places around the country, hoping to make a better life for themselves. But just talking about those days, homeless weren't many people. There weren't many homeless in those days, were they?
Oh, there weren't many homeless.
Yeah. So, and compared to now, what do you see?
There are much.
A lot.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. Have you made friends with any of them?
We know one another. Some of them, we see one another every day. We know one another's faces. We talk to one another.
Yeah.
Say bula.
Yeah.
As usual, because everybody looking for their life,
Yes.
You cannot chase them away because they come to the city, they come to look for something, something to survive on.
Right. And there are a lot of homeless people, and not only that, it's just social issues, which happen everywhere across the world. And, Fiji, of course, that's happening as well. So, you make friends with them. So what is it like with the street people? Are they're like a family of their own? They care for each other? They look out for each other? Is that right, Johny?
Yeah. They have their own groups which they all look after one another.
Yes.
So they cannot afford to look after so many, so they go by groups,
Okay.
So they care for one another, one small group, another group look after one another,
Yeah. They survive.
They survive.
And how do they survive?
Well, they got some of these religious groups which help them out with food stuff and things like that.
Right. Yes. So we've got like church groups. I've noticed sometime after work when I go, they come around with the containers and deliver them food at a certain time every day. Is that every day, like Monday to Sunday?
Yeah, they choose a day. The guys that take the food, they know the certain day they are told to wait where they're supposed to wait,
Oh, that's very nice. It's good to see that we have church groups who actually help the homeless people. Like human nature, Johny, people like to look down on others, eh? But what do you think about this kind of thinking, looking down on homeless and poor people? What do you think about that? That's not right. Yeah?
It's not right.
It's not right. Can you tell us why it's not right? Because we're all equal, we're all human beings. And maybe we don't know their background, how they came to be like that. Yes, Johnny?
Well, some of us are lucky to share the truth with our mom and dad from home,
Yeah.
who brought us up in the truth,
Mm-hmm.
to know where this world is heading for and what's the ending of things,
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, they have never received that message in their life. They don't know anything about love, from their home,
Yes. That's true.
So when we come and show them love, it's like a big thing to them,
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. I mean, love can move mountains, and it can also, like you said, when you show them a bit of love, they feel happy. I mean, it can be very easy living on the streets with no home. So, I mean, if you've got that love to show, it makes it,
Otherwise, they'll be singing, I want to know what love is.
Okay. It's true. Oh, okay. Oh, so I mean, yeah.
Like Loloma is sharing and caring.
Yes.
That is Loloma.
Yes. So, I mean, like for them, like you said, they even from their home, they never experience love, from their parents. So they've been neglected.
Some of them come from broken families, all these kind of things,
Right.
They've been abused,
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, that's life experience. I mean, it's not, doesn't take a genius to see that. And that's what you've seen. So, I mean, just love goes a long way.
All these sex cases that are happening nowadays, Well, I think some of these women that are old now, and they say some of them what happened, been violent to them before. You see the scars on their face.
Right.
They've been through this kind of violence all the time in their life. Now it just come to light. Now these women's groups are very strong, and now the men are afraid to work their woman now because they know that the law is right there,
Yeah, so we've got the Fiji women's to thank, Shamima Ali and them, implementing all these laws, if you hit your wife and she reports you, you can go to prison. Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure you agree with that. I mean, no one should ever hit a woman. Yeah, so I mean, very nice to know that the way you think is very understanding. And what else would you like to say about life in the streets? Like you said, you've got to show love, right? And I mean, one thing I was thinking, I mean, how come there's so many homeless people? They must have families. What about in the island? Maybe some got their villages, Don't they want to go back to their village?
Well, no, you can't say much. Some of these families are suffering. They can keep on giving food to somebody who's not working, who's not giving money in the house, and that guy too will feel guilty. So he wouldn't want to be a burden to them.
Oh, yes.
It's like that Rihanna song. You know the Rihanna song? You gotta work.
Yeah, but that is so true. I mean, if you can't contribute, that's just a fact of life, If
some never get chased home. Some just they just want to go now because they know
too much pressure.
Too much, but they got nothing to. So much better they gonna look for himself, find what kind of work can find. Want to feed himself,
Yeah.
Before the next move comes, we can make the money to save and then maybe send it home or like that.
Right. Oh, okay. And what about the Shoeshine boys? How are they doing now? You've got many Shoeshine boy friends?
They're doing okay.
They're doing all right? I mean, I admire them. At least they're doing something. They're, shining shoes and earning a living. I mean, some people even look down on Shoeshine boys because they normally associate them with crimes as well. So what do you have to say about this? What is the true story about them? What do you feel about the Shoeshine boys?
Oh, they struggle hard for money.
Yes?
It's another easy thing to sit down on a box and wait for your customers to come every day, You got to look for your customers,
Yes.
You got to have a good way to talk to your customers, Even though you frustrated, you got to speak polite, you know,
Yes.
with love, you know, I'll give them a little bit of happy feeling to make your customer happy to put on his shoes in front of you and shine.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, I must say I do admire them for their hard work. And like you said, they've got to put a smile on their face and attract the customers. But we'll be back for more on Speak Your Mind, Gold FM, only the classic hits. Welcome back to Speak Your Mind on Gold FM, only the classic hits. And our guest in the studio today, he's got a lot of experience in life. I mean, to spend half of it in prison and now to come out smiling and understanding how everything works, on the streets. Johny Heatley has been talking to us about how, he has, mixed with homeless people. They survive and their problems, why they've become homeless in the beginning. And we've also spoken about the shoeshine boys. And you said it's not easy. They sit on a box and all day and try to attract the customers to earn a living. And maybe what should we talk about now? The wheelbarrow boys? Or what would you like to talk about?
How did you rehabilitate yourself?
Okay, that's a very good question. How did you manage to rehabilitate yourself after spending half your life in prison, Johny?
Well, I was lucky when I came out of prison during the 99. I managed to work for one moneylender.
Okay.
So I acted as his bailiff.
Oh, okay.
So I go collect money and that was what the thing that kept me occupied.
Right.
That work went on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day.
Yes.
Well, my job is to go and look for the guy that owes the money.
Right.
I collect, I go give it there. So it keeps me occupied
Okay.
all through the years.
Right.
In some sort of a way, that's what rehabilitated me,
Oh, because like you had something that you could do, work and earn money and keep your mind off anything else. So, I mean, you must have, okay, so that's what rehabilitated you. So, I mean, it could be similar to any other ex-prisoner. They need something when they come out.
Because before you came out, they say, you got to wait, they're going to fix up something and all this.
Yeah.
So while you were waiting, you got to think, while you're waiting, how are you going to eat during that waiting period? Otherwise, you would come and find you were dead again over there.
Yes.
Because of the long waiting, so...
You have to have something immediately.
We're talking about now time, Like you want something done now, eh?
Yeah.
There's no waiting about it, eh?
Right. So you were very lucky that you got to do that job, act as a
It
bailiff.
kept me occupied all through every day,
Yes. So yeah, I used to see you walking here, walking there. I mean, it probably kept you fit as well.
I was very thankful for the work I was doing,
Yes.
Slowly, it made me forget about prison altogether,
Well.
There's life to be lived outside,
Yeah. I mean, it can be very easy to have been there for that long. I mean, imagine coming out, spending most of your life in prison. How did you sleep at night? I mean, did you wake up and have nightmares sometimes that you were in prison, still in prison? Did you ever have that, like dreams or nightmares?
No, after a long time, I would like to come outside and sleep in open air places, like you don't sleep in, put on background, just lay there. Because you didn't want to be locked up in one room, and it was outside the freedom was more better for me to make me forget about inside. So I just go lay down my head anywhere I want to lay down.
Right. At least you can see the sky and your freedom.
In some sort of way, I was just grabbing my freedom.
Oh, that's nice. Yes, I mean, I can imagine. True.
Yeah.
Right. So, that's what I thought. I mean, you would have been boxed up for that long, And then, like you said, that's what you did. Probably just go and lie
I was not familiar to sleep in one room or one closed-up area,
Yes.
Well, it would remind me of those locked-up places. So
Right.
after a long time, I started sleeping out in the open,
So that must have helped you, to get over all that bad experience that you had in the past.
Yeah.
And for you to totally get over it, it's admirable. And do you have any other friends who experience a similar circumstance as you?
Oh, a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, some have died, some have gone, some married,
Oh.
some have found life,
So you've met friends who've gotten over it like as well as you have? They've all just moved on and accepted that,
Yeah,
what
some
they've done in the past and they moved on?
some have gotten over it, some failed to get over it,
Oh, it just depends on the person's mind, eh? How you can
Some
rehabilitate yourself.
slept in the mentality,
Oh, dear. So what happened to them, these ones? The ones that couldn't get over it? They must be in a bad way then.
Very bad.
Very bad way. So maybe they might be homeless too now?
Yeah,
They're probably living on the streets as well?
yes.
So you meet them?
And meet them and then,
Okay. Do you give them some money?
yeah, I know. But some of them, you just acknowledge one another.
Oh.
If what you got, you can feel. Even if you ask you for something, then maybe you can. Otherwise, you say hi and bye. Otherwise,
Because even if you don't have anything to give, how are you going to give? But like you said, love, smile, hello, acknowledge them. That will make a big difference for them. So, at least you are one of the lucky ones that have, managed to move on. Like you said, you've met many who are still living that nightmare. They haven't been able to move on. How do you think they can be helped? Do you think there's any way that they can be helped to, be like you? There must be some way, yeah?
yeah, we need these mental, what do you call this? People that deal with mental stress and all these kind of things.
But anyway, we'll be back shortly on Speak Your Mind, Gold FM, only the classic hits. Speak Your Mind, Gold FM, only the classic hits. Thank you a lot for your company. And our guest in the studio who's been very kind enough to come in and talk to us about his experience in life, Johny Heatley. And, we were saying about rehabilitation, for example, someone like you who spent a long time in prison, that they need the support. So what would be your input on this? Do you have any ideas what should be done or what could be done to help? Because, when someone has nothing, obviously even your own family will turn their backs on you.
That's right.
Right? You've got to be contributing, like you said.
Yeah.
So what would you advise, what would you say that might be a good help to someone who needs rehabilitation after spending a number of years in prison?
Well, at the moment, I don't have any help from anybody at the moment, right? All through these years, nobody's been helping me. I've been helping myself. Right?
Okay.
I turn 60 next year.
60?
Yeah.
Wow. So right now, do you have a home?
I'm lucky to be living with my brother at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, he's been very kind enough to be helping you all these years?
Yeah.
Well, you come from a good family then, because I know quite a few people who are homeless, their families have turned their backs on them. So you're lucky in that way.
Well, I'm asking if I want to know if I'm qualified to be a pensioner, like this pension scheme coming from the welfare.
Oh, of course you are. You just only need to apply.
Okay.
Yes, you must do that. They've got forms. You need to go to social welfare and just get a form and apply. I'm sure you'll definitely get it, Johny. Yes. Okay, so, yeah.
Well, at the moment, life still goes on, so...
The struggle goes on.
Goes on.
Exactly. I suppose that's true for everyone, every individual, but it's even harder for someone, who is homeless or someone who's come out of prison. It's a bit harder. Yes? So the struggle goes on, but you're hoping to, well, at least if you get your pension or something like that, that'll be good. And it's there. Government has it there. Social welfare, you can apply. Okay, so maybe just an observation from you, Johny, of life in the streets, how you observe things that happen. Is there any observation from your side, or for any advice for youths who probably think that it's cool to commit crime? What would you like to say about that? Yeah. Okay, Johny. So, what I'm saying is that what would you like to say, like maybe if a youth, just say, for example, in the old days, you were a youth and you got into trouble. What would be your advice to a youth who wants to commit crime? And they don't commit like little crimes. They do really big crimes and they can go in for many, many years. What would be your advice to them from your experience? What would you like to tell them not to do it? Why?
It's a waste of time, There are other worthwhile things in this world to do, The answer is there in the Bible, right? Read your Bible pretty nice and you find all the answers to everything you search for in life is there.
So that's where you found your redemption? That's how you managed to change, because you read the Bible? You used to read the Bible when you were in prison?
I slept on it.
Oh.
I even slept on it.
Oh, that's very good. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, everyone has a right to their religion, and obviously it has helped you because you've managed to move on after all those years behind bars. So you tell them it's a waste of time.
It's a waste of time.
Waste of time. I mean, life is short, right?
Life is short.
When you're young, when you're a youth, you don't think it's short. That's the problem. You've got this mind that you're going to be young forever. Well, I've noticed sometimes on the street as well, I've seen them on the streets since they were little, and they will grow old on the street, and, it's a struggle.
All you got to do is just educate yourself more and move on,
Right. I mean, it doesn't matter if you didn't go to school or anything. Everybody has a brain.
Yeah.
You can use your brain to make a better life. Okay, so is there anything else that you'd like to share about your experience in life?
All the best. We see one another around every day.
Yeah.
So I hope everything goes on well. Eh?
Yeah. So, I mean, gosh, for you, there's no bitterness left in you. It's all gone. You took it away. Took it away. That's the best thing to do. I mean, you will never be able to live your life if you don't forget the past.
That's right.
And look into the future. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Johny. It's been lovely having you here today. And I wish you all the luck. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Louise.
Naka Johny. Well, that's it for Speak Your Mind this week on your only classic hits radio station, Gold FM. Thanks so much for your company. Until next week, ni sa mo de manda, vinaka vakalevit.